All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles, that was a great millstone, and citation brothers doing this thing in sincerity, in truth, and with charity. Man, I have a couple videos I want to play. Of course, linking them with the scriptures. You know, prophecies is popping like popcorn, man. There's a lot happening in the world, and it's beautiful. Like, this place is tuned through, man. So let's get right to it. I'm gonna play this video. It's a short video, but it is 5 minutes. But it's a lot of information in it, and we're gonna get some good scriptures out of it. Cause did I word that right? It's a lot of information in it that links up with the scriptures. Let me say it like that. It's a lot of information in it that links up with the scriptures and shows the times we're in, man.
Let's totally disregard everything that liberals and Democrats have been saying about Elon Musk and Doge and federal spending cuts and all that. And let's see what this Republican has to say.
Last night I could barely sleep because I had read report after report after report, and the math was devastating. If you add it all up, by 2035, you have over $74 trillion in debt. That 40,000 federal employees leaving is a single day of borrowing. Yet I watched someone on television last night saying, well, look, we're going to make a huge dent in the U.S. deficit with these 40,000 taking early retirement. It's one day of borrowing. Okay, so someone yesterday said, okay, let's get rid of the federal subsidy on tax-exempt bonds for stadiums. Okay, great. We calculate that's about 6 or 7 seconds of borrowing for a year. Really popular ones, Department of Education salaries. So if you get rid of the Department of Education salaries, and I think this is all of them, is about $2.75 billion for 9 hours of borrowing. Had this the other day. Let's get rid of health care for those who are here illegally. This is the emergency services for undocumented. So we calculate that to be about $2.1 billion a year. This is the emergency health care on undocumented. Okay, got you another 9 hours. So let's actually go to something a little bigger. Let's get rid of the foreign aid. Okay, foreign aid's gone. You got yourself a week. How many times of those of us on the right, I've been in a debate with another Republican, if we just didn't have foreign aid, we'd be fine. Okay. Now, you got to deal with the reality, what that does to our military, our footprint in the world, protecting the reserve currency. Why are we the reserve currency? Because we have a footprint, we protect the trade routes, but look, you should know that from your history. But you just wiped it out. You just covered a week of borrowing. The famous pie chart. Everything a member of Congress votes on is borrowed money. Every dime of defense is borrowed money. Every dime of non-defense discretionary is borrowed money. I think last fiscal year, $400 billion of earned benefits.
Now pay attention to what he says right here.
So let's actually now have the other thing where I'm going to start to really make a couple of my brothers and sisters annoyed around here. United States, according to the Census Bureau from last month, will have more deaths than births in 8 years. Not a single country in the world, and this is not just the United States, it's basically all the industrialized countries, and much of the world is way ahead of us in this almost dystopian collapse of there being young people. The other stupidity we engage in this country is we educate people in our fine universities, and we send them home to compete with us. Wall Street Journal today actually has an article on drug discovery and drug research and how fast China is basically competing with us now in new biologics and those things. And the basic premise is that we educated the very people that are competing with us because we sent them home because we're idiots. And yet I will get folks who will now, right now, pounding out texts saying, but I don't want foreigners in there. Do you want us to be able to pay your Medicare bills? Turns out, as an economist, you can't hit the number without a talent-based, STEM-based immigration system. You just can't. Because here's your problem. We built the models. So if we're going to extend expensing for research and development, so we're doing things better, faster, cheaper. What happens when the very companies that are doing that, the research labs that are doing it, continue to show up in my office and say, we can't get enough people. We're being squeezed. We're going to have to do part of the research on the other side of the world. Have we lost our minds? Oh, but David, you can't tell that. That will upset someone. Because, and this chart I know is almost impossible to read. Its punchline is very simple. Unless we have this productivity spike, we're going to get poor.
Well, it sounds like this has more to do with our immigration policies. That and our population, our declining population issue. But I mean, you know, what the hell are they going to do? Force girls to have more babies?
All right, so there's a lot in that video, man, in that 5-minute clip. And let's start with this, the ending of it. The force girls to have more babies. Esau numbers are declining. Hey, that's prophecy. Obadiah 1. All right. Stop the phone. And it's hurting them. It is I go to Hosea. This Obadiah 1 and 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, so Esau was, the heathens are ready to take this devil down already, man. Only thing that's keeping them, you know, for one, is the Lord's will and prophecy when it happens. All right, but carnally speaking, these people are still able to get rich off America. All right, they still able to bring in riches off of exporting goods from their lands over here, man. But the tariffs changed that, right? Let's keep going. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. All right, this devil is despised. He's already hated. And the Lord said he's made him small. All right, which, of course, he's insignificant, but his numbers are low, man. And they're declining. All right, and economists are looking at all these different reasons and possibilities because, like he mentioned, they come up with this and they let me play it again. Let me go to it.
Very companies that are doing that, the research labs that are doing it, continue to show up in my office and say, we can't get enough people. We're being squeezed. We're going to have very companies that are doing. We built the models. Turns out, as an economist, you can't hit the number without a talent-based, STEM-based immigration system. You just can't. Because here's your problem. We built the models. So if we're going to extend expensing for research and development, so we're doing things better, faster, cheaper. What happens when the very companies that are doing that, the research labs that are doing it, continue to show up in my office and say, we can't get enough people. We're being squeezed. We're going to have to do part of the research on the other side.
So economists are essentially losing it. They don't have an answer, not a real answer. This is why this man, he went all over the place. Dumb immigration policy, the low future revenue, low birth rates. These are some of the reasons they're saying is, no, it's too much fucking borrowing. It's too much fucking debt. But it is, that's the biggest part of it. And everything else plays into it. Yes, a dumb immigration policy. Just dumb policies in general. Because what the guy started off with is showing that everything they do is fucking them up. Making these cuts, cutting foreign aid hurts their military presence in other worlds, which they need, because then they have control over the resources. Then that gives them leverage. Esau time is up. He's losing grip. All right. Hey, he spread too thin. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this. This is Isaiah 19. He say, you cut this. This is only 7 hours of borrowing. Like, what you want to do? Nothing. That doesn't make sense either. Things have to be cut off, but it's just too. Esau was dug himself too deep, man. And then the Lord's taking his wisdom. It's over with. Hey, this Isaiah 19. And we'll get to the point 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. They have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. They lost their wisdom. So whatever policies and decisions they come with, they only, all right, let's increase tariffs. On paper, that sound good. Let's increase tariffs. It's going to bring more money in for you, right? But then it does what? It destroys the relationship you have with these different allied countries of yours, man. All right? Then they say, let's cut all this different funding, which a lot of it needs to be cut. I seen one thing where it's talking about they get some type, one of these buildings are getting, I forget the number, like $30,000 a month, something crazy a month of just a specific flavor of coffee cups. But the kicker was most of the workers are remote for the building. Like 80% or something crazy high. So it is a lot of ridiculous spending and shit. What on paper, I'm saying, what needs to be changed and fixed. But they not doing it right. All right? Because you still, like he said, they still had a footprint, which means a military presence in these different countries to of course, look at the trade routes, but control resources to get they cut off top, man. They still would need that to show themselves as a power. They're losing grip. End of the day, what that man is saying, the dollar is through. That's the worry. The dollar is through. Companies are shutting down. Retail apocalypse is happening. It's cheaper to operate overseas. All right? Which is funny. That's part of the reason why this nigga wanted to do the tariffs. Is to bring businesses back to America, but it's too expensive. Because it's too much borrowing. That's what it boils down to. There's too much borrowing. Everything, that has fucked everything up, man. A pair of jeans that costs goddamn $80 made in America. The most basic pair. Because it's so expensive. And I maybe put an extra on it, but that's the point. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the heel or tail branch or rush may do. So, like he said, in order for this to get better, there will need to be more production. There needs to be more jobs. But that's against prophecy. That's why we see the retail apocalypse. That's why we see these different companies outsourcing everything now. America fucked themselves over, man. Everything became too expensive in your homeland, and you took away what made you great, which was production. That's what made your economy strong. After World War II, why was America strong? Because you turned all the factories over to the war machine. So you was producing. What helped America grow? Starting from slavery, you were producing. You had whatever was the hot commodity, you produced it. Sugarcane, cotton, textiles, especially textiles, that was booming. When the fur trade was big, you was able to get your furs from South America up to Canada and then around, through the waterways leading through the Mississippi. All right? And get the shit overseas to the old world. But now you're not producing. Look up outsourcing. Look up how outsourcing destroyed Rome. Every decision you make is stupid. That's prophecy. All right? Lower job numbers, unemployment, high unemployment is prophecy. And this is your end. That man is losing his fucking mind. He said, we can't make the women have more babies. You need workers. We need jobs for those fucking workers, man. You're just through. It's crazy. It's just through. So you get rid of the immigrants. And now you see what? The farms just got crops going bad. They don't want to show up. They scared ICE gonna pop up, so they don't want to go to their gigs. And now you see how bad you need them, man. America was made great off of slave labor, and that ain't stopped. Esau numbers are low, and you're getting rid of your fucking workforce in the midst of a fucking retail apocalypse already. You're already losing jobs. Then the little production you do have left, you're losing your fucking workers. You're stupid, man. All right? And debt has played a huge role in that, man. Habakkuk 2, you owe too much, so it costs too much over here. Habakkuk 2, and we get straight to it, man. 4, behold, his soul which lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man. And that wine represents his philosophy, starting with democracy, but everything that comes with the Western mindset. All right, he pushed that to the fucking world. Okay? Neither keep it their home. That footprint he was talking about, they got military bases everywhere. Who enlarges desire is hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Should not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And the Hebrew word for thick clay is batiat. Let me just pull it up. And it means weight of pledges, heavy debts. All right? And that's what Esau has done, man. All right? They created, of course, for themselves a shit ton of debt. All right? Everything is done off borrowing. Like he said, every decision Congress makes, it's about borrowing. You need this, then you got to borrow money to do this. You got to bail the banks out, then you got to borrow money to do this. It's all borrowing. That's all they doing is borrowing. The scriptures say don't make banquet upon borrowing. So for America to be this delicious kingdom that it is all based off borrowing. That's a recipe for disaster. Because now they reached a number they can't pay back. All right? And they're scrambling with their decision making to try to do something about it. And it only makes the shit worse. Now you're losing your workforce. So now the little brush you got to help you to look good on paper is going down the drain. Abortions all over the fucking place. You tried to set up Planned Parenthood to take out niggas, but you fell into your own ditch, as the scriptures say. That's why when they did the Roe versus Wade shit just recently, they was going over and all the case and shit. And when they first got passed and they was like, no, we ain't doing abortions no more. Like that, they put the limitations up, whatever. The bitch said on the stage, she said, oh no, I think it was an Edomite lady, Edomite woman, not no fucking lady. Hell, not a woman, Edomite bitch. She said this is a win for white America. See, they need this. They need more people. They're dropping in numbers. They're through. Every decision they make is fuck. They cheddar bobbing themselves. They shut themselves their own foot. Since forever. All right? Shit is fucking over with, man. Now we watching it all play out. All right? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So now it's your turn. Hey, soon you're going to be spoiled. Soon you're going to be the one invaded. Soon you're going to be the one attacked by these nations, man. Even your own allies, you're ruining your relationship with them, man. You're going on the world stage saying America first. All right? America first is you telling the world, the rest of these nations, to hell with them. You care about your interests instead of the world interests. when you're supposed to be the leader of the whole world, not just yourself. So they ready to scrap you. All right. So you know what? That brings us to this next video. Let's go ahead and bring it out.
Man, have I got some drama for you at the Munich Security Conference. It literally feels like we're watching a really messy, a bad breakup between America and Europe. And what makes this even crazier is that it was literally on Valentine's Day. So yesterday, we're all in this room, right? And everyone gets on stage, they make their own speeches, and the president of the EU Commission, she goes on stage and she basically says that Trump's tariffs would be an attack on Europe, and that Europe, if they did this, they would respond accordingly. And then I think she kind of said this in anticipation because she knew that JD Vance was going to get on stage next. And oh my lord, the vibe in this room was crazy. And then he actually started speaking, and the things that he said, like, bro really became the ops. He started off by saying, and this was a hugely controversial point, he said that the biggest threat to Europe right now was not Russia, was not China, but rather Europe themselves. Bro basically said, you are your own biggest threat, and everyone is sat there. And he didn't stop there. He went one step further. He started calling out countries one by one in Europe, and he started using these examples to basically make the point that their understanding of democracy is flawed. Obviously, this didn't go down well. And then things got even crazier because then Trump announced that they were scaling back military support for Europe. And then in reaction, Zelensky was like, we need to create an army for Europe now because, you know, we can't just rely so much on America. One of the craziest parts, let me find Max to tell you this because this is the craziest part. I found him on the career ladder. The chance, I never thought that I'd be on the career ladder.
On the career laddie.
Tell everyone what you told me this morning about basically America becoming the ops.
About the white sausage?
Leave that part out. That was supposed to be private.
Right. What risk has grown the most since last year?
Yeah.
So interestingly, in the last year, if you look here, I can show. Look,
Listen to this.
I got
This is
receipts.
crazy.
I got receipts. So in the last year, for Germany, Canada, France, India, Italy, and Japan, there is the same risk that has grown the most, according to the people who live in those countries.
What is that risk?
The United States. Yeah, and I want to show, dude.
Bro,
I want to
what?
everyone but the UK. For the UK, it's a threat of nuclear weapons.
Okay, so let me ask you the question. Do you think that we have a Germany?
I decided to get to your level.
Do you think that we're seeing an America and Europe breakup on Valentine's Day, or is it just a little dip in their relationship?
Dude, I don't know. I think the thing about...
Bro, okay, right. Okay. Stop.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Let me tell you this one thing. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I don't think it's a breakup, but I think it's definitely...
Do they need marriage counseling?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, guys, believe it or not,
So it is indeed the start of their breakup, you know, the separation. All right. So let's get this James 5. So we see the guy before Congress losing it, and essentially it all boils down to the debt is too fucking high. Whatever these corrections you're making, really he gave no true solution. He said this shit is too little. If you do this, all right, you fucking up, making the wrong decisions, fucking up with the foreign policies you have. Then we're not producing enough children. And he kind of threw a jab like we made the choice to stop the abortion some and y'all reversed it. So it's like, what the fuck can we do? He's basically, there's no fucking return. The economists are losing their mind right now, man. The debt is too high. In fact, let me grab this real quick. Yeah, this is fucking through. I had James on over here. That's funny. This is Ecclesiastes 12, and we're going to start at 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened. So get right, because soon this shit going to crack. All right? Soon the end comes, man. The end is thermonuclear destruction. Before that, you know, nor the clouds return after the rain, it says what? In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. He mentioned the economists. We seeing him stressed out. You know, he came in there with charts, pie charts, graphs to make his point. All right. And the word economist means house manager. Look up the etymology. All right, etymology. The etymology of economist. That's what it means, the keeper of the house. That's an economist. They shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. Unemployment increasing. And those who look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. So unemployment, the downfall of the economy plays a big role in this, man. All right? And the doors been shut in the streets equals what? Martial law. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So we're in great times, man. The dollar is the power of the dollar is going down the drain quick as shit, man. Everywhere you look, people complain about the price of eggs. It's over with, man. Hey, this James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl, for your misery shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered. All right, now, the decline has been since they got rid of the silver. All right, but the world still was entangled in the dollar because gold was attached to it. Then they tricked the world, got rid of the Bretton Woods, and said, you know what? It's just trust. Essentially, they said just trust us. Just trust the value of America, and still wrap your currencies in the U.S. dollar. Still buy our bonds. Still make your trades with our dollar. And part of that trust is the deal they made with the OPEC nation, the oil nations. You only take deals with the U.S. dollar. All right? So they got rid of the gold and silver. The dollar became really worthless. It was just trust me. Fiat, let it be so. Just believe it. Got the world to get on a fiat-based system. All right? And everybody's tied in with American debt. And then on top of that, fast forward to now, the very dollar that's supposed to be carrying the world is collapsing. The dollar itself is now rusted over. It's decaying. All right? That American lifestyle goes down. The America on paper was looked bad. So unemployment, the stop of spending, all right, because America is a consumer-based economy. Once that stops or slows down enough, all right, the nations are going to feel that, man. And nations are going to be pissed because their economies are tied in. So they're going to have to take a bump too. Even when switching over to digital currency, the dollar has to die. There has to be a screeching halt. Hey, let's keep going. And then the world's going to hate America for it all. They're going to blame you. And the rest of them shall be a witness against you. So this shows what time we're in. This sin decay this place. And shall eat your flesh as Salakia. And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasures together for the last days. All right. So the precept to this will be Revelation 17. It shall eat you with fire. Well, that goes right with Revelation 17. And 15. And he said to me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So that footprint that was mentioned, America being everywhere, that's how you know that's the whore. It's all over the fucking place, right? America essentially rules the world, you know? With this allies, the EU, All right, which the 10 horns, like Rome ruled the world with its allies. Those same 10 nations had different names back then. All right, Vandals, Heruli, Burgundians, the Franks, Anglo-Saxons, the same people, man. Fast forward, now you got Germany, the French, the Brits. All right, it's the same thing. So, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. They're going to turn, and we're seeing. That's why he mentioned that breakup with America and Europe. America goes America first, and now Europe is saying, we need a military for Europe. That's a big statement. Trump is pulling back military help to Europe, and Europe is saying we need our own European. The continent need their own army. This is big fucking news, man. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So the economy getting worse, the dollar getting worse, the tariffs, all this money business is happening. It clearly is playing a part in the separation of friends of Europe and America. And it leads to eventually, Lord willing, sooner than later, the EU burn this whore up, man. For the Messiah have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Messiah shall be fulfilled. So that was a limitation on the allied nations. And it appears we're here, man, because of that witness of the rust of their money. And the one which thou sawest is that great city, America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, America. So this shit is over with, man. All right. Hopefully it's edifying. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles. That was a great millstone. And sausage brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. Shalom, my Baba Ball.